and you'll see the reason why as soon as I've tightened it up here. Okay, now can you see the difference in the gas itself? Now you can, on this one, you can turn it down a little bit, you can turn it down a little bit, even more. I like to put the gas full on, whatever it is, full on. Then I know my pressure is right, my temperature where I'm going to put my cases is going to be alright, constant and everything. This is also very, very nice, the small one over here. It also gives a pencil point flame, and but unfortunately, because of the canister size, the flame diminishes by time and you don't realize it, and you don't get proper annealing with all your cases that you use for that specific, for that batch of brass. So that's the differences in size and flame. Now this one here, I can also show you on this one what happens on this one. See, we're sitting at, it's a little bit cool today, so now it stutters and sputters, and it doesn't really want to get going. But you sit with a full bottle of butane, and your temperature compared to this one and the flame itself, look at that, and you can see you can get all sorts of funny things, if you cant it too wrong. But that's the size. There you can properly see the size of the flame coming out of this. So your point that you don't want to put your brass in is exactly the point where many people say you must. There's a lot of people that will tell you that you must put the brass just in front of this blue flame over there, and then we can check that one over there. That one is melting very quickly. And just to give you an idea here of the temperatures that we are looking at, is if we put it this multimeter here that I've got, this can measure up to 300 degrees Celsius. So just over 300 degrees Celsius you want your brass to be annealed. So if I put this over here, now you can have a look, if I can try it maybe to show you on this side over there, and get it out so you can see the reading there. Okay, now I just want to have a look at myself as well, otherwise I burn out this temperature sensor here. So this big bottle of butane here, now I can put it for you around about there, and you can see how quickly the temperature goes up there. And there we're sitting already over 300 degrees Celsius, and that's how far it is from the sensor itself. It will even go further, and I'm damaging now the sensor. So just to give you an idea how far, that is the temperature that you need for a couple of maybe 12 or 14 or 15 seconds to anneal your brass. And if you over anneal it, or if you put it in the wrong place, it's brass over, goes to the rubbish bin. This one over here, the same thing. You sit here with a temperature around there of, we're looking at Yeah. As you can see, you know, the intensity of the other one's flame was just too much, and now it's not reading anymore. So, you know, this temperature sensor then has been completely ruined by that heat. And that is just, you can, just as simple as that, you can ruin your brass. So right, let's go back to the annealing process itself, and then we can see what's going on. One other thing that you need to get, it's a hand screwdriver or a hand drill or something like this that you can turn. It's no use just trying to turn it by hand. I've heard of people that say, yeah, they just turn it by hand. I'm sorry. If you turn it by hand, you either have steel fingers, or even a blacksmith, you know, they won't be able to hold this brass long enough to get annealed there. The heat will transfer so fast it will burn you. So people have all sorts of funny ideas. I turn it by hand, you know, and when I feel the heat, you know, I chuck it in the water. But after a while, your fingertips becomes desensitized. So yes, you might hold it for a little bit longer, a half a second, 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds, and initially you'll see here at your 10th piece of brass that you're annealing, everything is just, it's gone. You know, it's not done properly. So get yourself something that can turn. If we put this one over here, the cup, that's the big cup for the 375, and then we've got the cup here, and if you just give me 1 second, I'll just want to grab the water. Okay, so I'm just dragging the water closer. Now there's two different thoughts in annealing and then quenching your case in water. Some people say, if you put it in water, it hardens again, which is not the case. Steel hardens when you quench it. Brass, on the other side, if you anneal it, the crystal structure inside, the molecule structure, is reset, if you can call it that way, and it will stay that way even if you put it in water or you let it just cool down by itself. So there's no difference between putting it in water or leaving it out of water. I like putting it into water because if I want to have a look at something specifically, once I've annealed it, then I want to be able to touch it immediately, and that piece of brass will be far too hot to touch if you do not quench it in water immediately. So this is my setup here. I want to just adjust a little bit more here to give you an idea what we're going to do. Okay, so there's the, you can still see there's the white mark on the brass. So there's the white mark, and I'm going to stand up and have a look to see that the green mark gets liquid clear, and then you'll put it just in the front of the flame here. And there's it. That one was a little bit far away, but now you've got, and you can see here the color over here is different to the color over here. Here you've got a silvery color. This brass hasn't been cleaned properly before. Here the white part has started to get clear at about 5 millimeters or so, a quarter inch so that's roughly the temperature that you will quench, and the way that you can anneal it. Now I want to anneal one of the bigger ones here, and we see if we can get similar results out of that one. Okay, so there you can still see the white line is on it there, the green is in there. I just want to have a look on the inside to see that I get it right there in where I want it. Okay, now there you are. So this is it. That part has come back, the white part has come back also around about 6-7 millimeters or so. If you have a look on the inside there, the green, and that's at 750, that's completely gone now, so it's been annealed properly. Now I want to show you what happens when you over anneal a piece of brass. Now here's a piece of brass, the 375. It's lying in my junk box for some other reason, and I'm not the strongest of guys, but I think I can do a little bit here. I'll put all my energy in trying to bend this part over here. Okay, and there's no deformation, so it's hard. It's you can see it in the indent in my thumb there. I've really tried my best there to bend it. So now I'm going to show you what happens with over annealing, and I'm really going to overdo it. So let's put the flame where the guys say you must put it in there. So I'm going to put it in there, and I'm going to, as soon as you see that reddish color coming off from the front and your neck turns red, and on your shoulder side there you can see the color at the back going back, and many people I've seen, they say they like it when that color turns red, because then they know that their brass is now nicely annealed. Now we've annealed it, so you can see there's some annealing. The annealing mark came right back up to there. But what now about the neck itself? Now I'll try the same with it on this one here and see if I can do something here, and that's what happens. So your brass is basically destroyed. So if you want to overdo it, put it for too long just on the tip of that blue flame there, because that's part where it's very hot. There, you should just put it out over here for about 6, 7, 8 seconds maybe or so on a small flame like this. On a bigger flame, a little bit shorter, because it envelops a bigger part there. And that's the reason why I say I like this setup here, because the way that I anneal with this canister of this LP gas and the flame itself, I can properly control the flame and my annealing on it. And for some guys, they would say, when they then press it in, yeah, this looks nice, you've all the new good brand brass, they anneal it and the annealing mark sits there. That's completely different. That's done in the manufacturing process and not done by home. They've got machines and everything that they anneal it at very, very high temperatures, and they quench it with nitrogen. So it's a second, literally, that they hold the neck in the flame. Otherwise, they'll anneal it as well. You can imagine for big companies that makes millions of brass cases a day, they can't sit here for 5 minutes doing 10 pieces of brass. So it's big volume, so it's high temperature and cool down extremely fast. And then you get some of the brands of brass, then you can see it really nice. But this, like I say, this is done by machines and everything, and this is a nice looking piece of annealed brass. If you can get your brass to have this silvery color to it, and you can see your annealing mark is not very far back, right up to there. If you can get your brass to look like that, then you're there. And you should be able to reuse that brass anything from 15 times to 30 times. I've used some of my brass 308, 306, 338 Lapua Magnum. I've reloaded about 25 times by annealing. If you do not anneal your brass, and that is something that people, because they're afraid of annealing the brass, if you do not anneal your brass, your lifetime of your reloading of your batch of brass might be 3 or 4 times. If you're lucky, 5 times. Then you'll start cracks in the front and so on, and then that's it. And brass is one of the most expensive components that you can get that's used in your whole reloading process. So go for it, give it a try. If you don't want to anneal, just remember there's a limit on life, and if you do anneal, you can get a really long lifetime out of these the cases.